Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our weekly broadcast. We are so excited. If you're tuning in and listening, thank you for doing that. We are true baseball fans, and we love every conversation that we can have with our players and with our coaches. Sorry, we've been off a couple of weeks. There's just been some scheduling changes, and the rain kind of put us behind some, but we're back this week, and we hope it's informative and get to talk to some great players and to Coach Hughes. But today we're going to start off a little different. We're going to start with Cooper Duncan, one of the pitchers, one of the senior pitchers this year for the Eagle Nation and for the Eagles. So with that, Cooper Duncan, welcome to our weekly PACE broadcast meeting. Super excited to have you. Super excited to see what the future is going to hold for you. And we want to pick your brain a little bit about the season, about how it was to be part of a special season and to be such a winning organization. And in an organization, and we're going to talk about this later with Coach Hughes, that had a lot of media attention, had a lot of news time. And that's always good for our school district and for all of the other sports. So with that, first, congratulations on a great season. Tell us a little bit about what it was like being a player for such a great season at Nixa.
No, yeah, so coming from last year, it was kind of a down year in a sense because Nixa were always supposed to win 20 games, 25 games to go far in the playoffs. But with having a down season last year, we came into this year, the new coaching staff, not really knowing what's going to happen because we saw our schedule beginning of the year. We're facing all these top 5 schools in each class. And there was kind of question marks on how we were going to do and stuff like that. But whenever we started playing very well at the very beginning of the year, beating schools like Staley, like Rockbridge, schools like that, we thought that we could go really far in a season. And you saw how we did this year, winning 32 ball games.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun to be a part of it. Just especially like not really necessarily being a leader, but being a mentor to some of the younger kids, especially early in the season, with them having a new coaching staff as well, and trying to learn from us in the bullpen. Like I know a lot of the guys, the younger kids in the bullpen, they kind of looked up to me and Josh and some of the other kids like that, and that was, I kind of felt good trying to be a mentor to them for next year, obviously. But it was really just a good season, and I was really happy to be a part of it.
Good. And great point. You know, we really rebounded from last year. New coaching staff, all the things new. You're always cautious about that, right? Because you don't know the tendencies, you don't know their what they're going to do from a baseball perspective because they're new, right? We knew that they knew a lot about baseball, but that's always good that you could come in and, like you said, win 32 games your first season with new coaching staff. So great. What was it like? I mean, you were a senior. You played a senior role. Some seniors take that role on. Some really don't like that role. Nonetheless, as a senior, you're considered a leader, and the younger kids are going to see you that way because you've been here. They haven't. Tell us what it was like to be a senior on such a great, successful year.
Yeah, learning from the seniors last year, they played a really big role in this year for me, especially learning from them on how they treated their senior season. Obviously, like I said earlier, it didn't go as they planned, but hopefully we were going to take that from them and take it into our senior season. But being a senior on this team, it was kind of surreal, right? Because we won the most games ever in Missouri public school history in a regular season, and so forever it's going to be kind of cool to look back and realize that I was part of that team, and that was my senior year. Right, that we went out and set records, that we were the team to beat, and that's going to feel really good for a very long time.
How hard was it for you when you walked out of the dugout last night for the very first time? Tell me about that emotion and what that feeling was.
At first, I wasn't really upset as what I was more of. I was just mad. That it was a mixed emotions of upset, mad, confused, shocked. It was mixed emotions. But whenever I went down to the bullpen for the last time to get my stuff, that's when it really hit me. Like, this is my last time walking out of everything. And then walking out of the dugout, seeing all the community around, basically had a big tunnel for all of us to walk out of. Then they would cheer for all of us whenever we walked out. That was kind of like surreal, knowing how the community really felt about us. And then getting home last night and taking off the jersey for the last time that's what really hit me hard. But other than that, it wasn't so much that I was really upset. It was so much that I was just shocked. Because we were expected to go out and go on and win state. We were expected to go on and go a lot farther, but we got our season cut short, and that's what was really hurt.
Yeah, well, and I think that's a true testament to, you said you talked about the tunnel coming out. That's a true testament to this community, right? We had a great presence there. We always had a great presence at home. and that's a testament to the community, but also how much we enjoy just being around you guys and watching you play. So that's a testament to you as well. Where we come from is just how exciting we were, and we were to watch. I'm sure you had several people tell you. I had a lot of people tell me, you guys are fun to watch. You play the game. The game's fast. You play fast, and we enjoy that. Nixa, we didn't have any boring games that I can say. So I'm glad that you guys got to experience that. Even at the end last night. So I want to switch over to talk a little bit about what your mindset is. So when you're warming up in the bullpen, so you get the nod before the game to say, hey, Cooper, you're going to start. You were more of one of our relief pitchers. Middle of the game, let's say third, fourth inning, hey, Cooper, you're going to go in, or maybe you knew before the game. So what starts going through your mind? Because we talked about this before we started the broadcast. And going from a person in the dugout that is a supporter to now you're going to be the person that they're going to support. Tell us how you change that and what that mindset is as you're throwing pitches and warming up in the bullpen.
Really, so when it comes to getting loose, so sometimes I would get told before the game, hey, if we get up by so much, you're going to go in. If we get down by so much, if it's close or whatever, you're going to go in this inning. Right, so I can pre-plan. Like, say I was going to go in the fifth inning if we were up by 3 or more, right? I would in the third inning, I could really start to get my arm bands going. I could start playing light catch, stuff like that, and then by the fourth, maybe top of the fifth inning, I could really start throwing off the mound. But then other situations where, hey, our guys walked 2-3 guys in a row, we got to get someone going hot right now. That was a totally different mindset. It was stop talking to all your buddies, start getting focused. Because half the time in that bullpen, we're not jacking around, but we're supporting our team, but we're also kind of like our bullpen crew. Like we all have our own personalities, we're all having fun in there. But whenever it's time to go, as a bullpen guy, you got to shut everything else down and get focused right away. So that was kind of a challenge for me because last year I was a bullpen guy as well, but this summer I started a lot of games. And coming into this year, I was open to being a reliever, and it kind of also helped me into my future game, and I know that I can start and I can relieve now.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about on the mound. So before you would play an Ozark or a Stratford, a lot of those kids that you knew. But what about playing a game like Rockbridge or Staley? Teams that we don't normally see and that we may have played for the first time in several years this year. Tell us, is there anything that you do to scout some of those hitters that you don't know? Do you watch some of their profiles? Is there anything that you do to try to get a leg up or a hand up on some of those hitters that we are not familiar with?
Really, the only way that I could really only understand guys that I had never seen before was just watching the whole game, right? Because maybe being a reliever was real. I have to watch the whole game from the bullpen or the edge of the dugout, right? And I have to help do pitch charts. So and also in a way, whenever I'm doing a pitch chart, maybe I'm also paying attention to how our starters pitching to these guys. What counts are they hitting? What pitches on? So then whenever I go into the game, I know not to throw a fastball on a 2-0 count, not to throw a fastball on a 1-2 count. That's how I really understand it because we didn't really get into the player profiles up till the playoffs started. That's whenever games really meant a lot more. But so really, like regular season was just really paying attention to the game before we came in.
So tell us about that, okay? It's because it's a different mindset. So you started, and you've come in as a reliever. Tell us the difference for those of us who haven't thrown or never been a pitcher or never been that guy out there that's trying to make the game happen. Tell us a little bit about the mindset from what it takes to start and what it takes to come in as a reliever.
Really, from a starter's perspective, it's you have to come in, you have to dominate, you have to set a tone. Right, if you come out there in the first inning and you give up 4 or 5 runs, now the tone of the rest of the game is totally different. For your whole team, your dugout might get down, your offense might slow up a little bit. But if you come out there and you go 1, 2, 3 in that first inning, now your offense is pumped up, now they're ready to go. But if you're coming out as a reliever, you may be down by 3 runs right now, and you come in with the bases loaded, nobody out. You got to get a ground ball. Right, it's a totally different mindset of trying to set a tone or trying to clean up a mess or coming in. Keeping on setting the tone. It's as a reliever, it's a lot of mixed kind of emotions and mixed ideas of how you get to come in there. But as a starter, you like to set a tone.
Perfect, and you said it great. As a starter, setting that tone is super important with regards to even the second inning and the third inning, and as the game goes on. So great insight, man. I love talking to you guys and picking your brains about stuff like that. So tell us a little bit about what are your plans after high school?
Back last summer is whenever I really started to pick up on, I really wanted to go play college baseball. is what I really wanted to do. I really wanted to go to Oklahoma for a long time just to be a student there and go into media stuff. But then whenever I had a really good summer this past year, I really wanted to start playing college baseball. I really wanted to pick up that idea. And my assistant coach, my pitching coach for this past summer, he went to McKendree University up in Illinois, a little bit about 20 minutes outside of St. Louis, and he told me that I should look into them. They're a D2 college. In the GLVC they play Drury, SBU, schools like that. And so I hit him up. I just texted their head coach asking if I could talk to him or whatever, go to a camp or whatever. And he responded to me and he gave me a camp invite and all this stuff. And I went up there, and I threw pretty well and stuff like that. And then my coach told me that I should expect maybe him texting me back or something like that pretty soon. But it was a couple months of me not hearing anything from anybody. And I was starting to question, like, if they going to talk to me or anything like that. Then out of nowhere, right before school started, I got a text from the recruiting coordinator there, and he wanted to call me and stuff like that. So I called him later that day, and that's where I got my first offer, kind of out of nowhere. I went there, long dead period, and then I got it. And I got my offered on the phone, and then I got offered to go up on a visit. And that's where I talked to the head coach, Coach Stepp up there, Andrew Stepp, who's from Nixa. He played for Coach Greenwood here at Nixa up there for a couple years ago, would have been about 10, 12 years ago. He's about mid-30s guy. And he really offered me up there like the official one. And then it took a couple weeks, and I really talked to my family about it, and I decided to go up there, decided to commit up there. And I signed back in November is whenever the first signing day was. So I've been signed for a long time. And I'm really excited to get up there to McKendree, especially with them having their pitching staff there was depleted this past year with injuries and stuff like that. So maybe I might have an opportunity to go up there and pitch immediately maybe. But even if I don't, there's a JV squad where freshmen and sophomores can still get playing time. That way you don't want to transfer out immediately and go play somewhere else, where you can kind of develop and move into that starting role by the time you're a junior, senior. And that's really what I'm excited for. And also, there's a Nixa teammate up there, Gage Weatherfield, who was a senior whenever I was a sophomore back here, and the recruiting coordinator is also from Nixa. Hunter Crabtree's brother, Hayden Crabtree, is the recruiting coordinator up there. So kind of a Nixa family, and I have family up there as well. So it's kind of just a perfect fit. It's not too far, but it's also not too close, where my family can't come up there and bother me whenever they want to, but I can also come back whenever I need to. If I need something if I'm sick or something, if I need my mom to help me with that, with whatever, she can come up there, she can help me, but I'm also kind of on my own in a way, which is, I think it's really just the perfect fit for me.
No, I think that's awesome, and I've heard a lot of great things about McKendree. And I had heard that Hunter Crabtree had moved into that role, which, Hunter played here at Nixa, did a great job for us here, a few years ago. So congratulations on that. I think that's awesome. That you get to continue to play this sport that you love so much, and then we all love so much, right? That you get to do that even and live out the other part of your dream. So congratulations on that. I'm super happy for you.
Thank you.
So one thing that we've asked all of the players, whether you play right field, center field, left field, pitch, what's something that you do? Do you do anything different on game day, or do you have any superstitions on game day?
Well, when it comes to superstitions, I'm probably the most superstitious guy you'll ever meet. Like, anything, you name it, I'm doing the same thing every single day. Like, I don't want to change it until something bad happens. So, like, beginning of the year, it was me and Rylan Evans. We would play catch the second and third inning of every single game until we lost. And then against Rogersville, we lost, but he also had a pitch in like the second inning of that game. So we kind of kept going until the Liberty game. Whenever we lost that game, whenever we would play catch second, third inning, we kind of stopped doing that. And it kind of worked out again. And then I would play catch somebody else until that worked out. It was kind of just doing some random stuff like that, or me going. I had to go sit in a certain against Republic. I was in the dugout the whole game until that last inning where John had a home run and we scored 3-4 runs. I went in the bullpen. I sat down in a certain spot in the bullpen, scored 4 runs, and I didn't move the rest of the game. Like that was kind of like my superstition, I guess you could say. Or I might drink a drink right before I pitch every single game. It was a bunch of stuff like that, a bunch of random stuff until something didn't work, I'd switch it up. And if that worked, I'd stick with that until that didn't work anymore. It was kind of just all over the place.
That's great, man. I love that, and I love hearing all of you guys, the way you react differently to different situations, and if something doesn't work, then you change it up. I love hearing that. So, well, Cooper, thank you so much. I appreciate you joining us, and I cannot tell you how happy I am for you, for the year that you had, that you got to be a part of this. 32 wins. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
And that you got to be a part of that, and that you enjoyed yourself. Congratulations on graduating. Congratulations on your career at McKendree and then that next level. Thank you for joining us. Good luck I hope you enjoy your summer. I hope you get stronger and faster, and enjoy that sense of freedom that you've well deserved. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much.
Folks, we will be right back. We're going to take a break with one of our great sponsors. We got so many of them, but we'll be back here in about 5 minutes, and we're going to talk with Coach Logan Hughes to kind of wrap up the year and get his thoughts on the year and how everything went. We'll be right back after these messages.
Mr. Callahan, what's your favorite day?
Friday?
Favorite time?
Morning. Why?
Well, Air Services offers online bookings so you can schedule around your favorite time.
That's a great option.
Now you can choose what works best with your schedule. No waiting, no operators, no canned music.
Please make it stop.
And with online bookings, you don't have to talk with anyone.
I'm liking this more and more.
Call Air Services today.
Hey folks, welcome back to our weekly PACE meeting, our final PACE meeting for the school year and for this baseball season. A lot of mixed emotions on that, and we'll talk to Coach here about that just a little later, and kind of how we got to where had a great season, and then kind of some of the stuff that happened last night. But first off, I want to say congratulations, 32 wins and 4 losses. There's no other team in the state that has that record. I don't know that there's any other team that won over 30 games in the regular season, previous to post play. So that's a testament to you and your staff, and to your ability to take kids who didn't really know how good we were going to be this year as a team. Yeah. I mean, we knew we had some good players, but we didn't know how they were all going to fit in and kind of was kind of going to gel. Because we knew we had a lot of players in one position and we needed more in others. So that's just a testament to what you guys did and your coaching staff. So congratulations on a great season, Coach. So the first thing you want to know is, did you expect to win coming in, okay, not knowing a whole lot about high school baseball, which is we've talked about is different than college baseball. Did you expect to win that many games? And did you expect to get the media attention that we got this year?
Yeah, we, as a coaching staff, when we met before the year and we first took over this opportunity, we knew that what we wanted to do and the way that we wanted to play, we knew that type of philosophy and stuff from our past has been a winning philosophy and a winning approach to playing baseball. We weren't quite sure how that would adjust, quickly to the high school level. But it did, and our players, the testament is to the players. They're the ones that bought into what we wanted to do. They're the ones that took it to a whole new level. They're the ones that play the game, and so to talk about 32 wins, and I expect to win every time I step on the field. And I know that that's not really a reality, but our guys don't spend hours and hours in the cage to lose. Our coaches don't spend hours and hours on the field or on the internet or going to coaches clinics to prepare to lose. And so we prepared every single day with the plan on winning every single game that we played. And so I expected to win that many games. I also expected to still be playing. But sometimes those things happen, and that's sports. But we had such incredible buy-in from our players. all the coaches, our community, our families, everybody just bought into everything. And that's why this hurts so bad, is because everybody did it together, you know, and we expected to be playing on the very last day of the season. But that's our expectation. And when we fall short of our expectation, it hurts, you know, because we expect to be there in the end.
So let's talk about the media, the piece of it. Every time you would log on to social media, or we were on the news several times, just talking about the season that we were having. And not only that, but just people in the community. I know there were some players that would get stopped, you know, hitting cages outside of these, and people would want to talk about their season. And inevitably, before those players would leave, those individuals, they would always say, hey, guys, keep up the good work. Good luck on the rest of your season. And of course, none of them wanted it to end as much as you said, with all the hard work they put in. So were you surprised about all of the media attention that we got? And I think you would have to be, because even with 32 wins, it would have still been a great season if we had 29 wins. But I think once you get to that 30th win, everybody starts to take notice, right? Everybody knows about us. You know, and we talk about rankings, and, you know, we were nationally ranked, only team in the state that was nationally ranked, and those are only as good as the people, you know, doing those rankings. However, that is a testament to your staff and to your ability to bring these kids together. So were you surprised at some of that attention that we got?
Yeah, I think anytime you can get the notoriety and the publicity for your program the way that we did it, it's a big surprise. But it's something that's really awesome for our guys, because it helps promote our guys, you know. How many walk-off wins our guys had from just coming back and fighting, and shows the character that they have. You know, we want to get the Nixa brand out there. We want people to be excited and to love and to be passionate about Nixa and Nixa baseball and what we're doing. And I think, you know, having the gear that we did, and people buying hats and being excited about having a hat and a shirt and wearing that out in the community. And like you said, our kids are going to batting cages, other places, and wearing their Nixa gear with pride. And then people take notice of that, and that's when they, you know, congratulate them or wish them luck. And so I think all that, the way that, you know, media and social media and all these things are going nowadays, you know, for our guys to play the way that they did and get the notoriety that they are, it's very well deserving for them. And I couldn't be prouder of our group.
No, and I would have to agree with that, and I think everyone watching would agree with that as well. So, 36 games. Let's talk about your expectations at the beginning of the game, because even though you knew we were going to win a bunch, I don't think you could foresee what this year was going to bring us, right? Even last night, I don't think we could have foreseen it going the way it did. But were your expectations exceeded overall, or do you feel like we could have done more as a team, maybe on some of those closer games that we shouldn't have played the way we did, but we did? What about your expectations overall after 36 games?
For sure. I think that it's so hard. It's so hard. People don't understand how hard it is to win in sports. Game of baseball, you know, you got umpires making calls. You got high school kids having to go out and you know, get hits or throw strikes, and do it every single day. And to have 36 games, that's a lot of games. And to expect our guys to be out there and have their best every single day, that's a lot. That's asking a lot from kids. And but you know, because of the record, it shows the amount of talent and depth that we have on this entire team. I think at one point we had 15 or 16 different guys, you know, go out through the lineup and get hits and do that. And same thing on the mound. You know, there were 2 weekends when I think we played a double at 14 innings and we threw 12 different pitchers, and we won both those games. And so it's just a testament to the guys that we have on this roster, and to the coaches that we have on this roster, that they came to work every single day. And regardless of if they knew they were playing that day or they didn't, they were going to work to get better, because when their number got called, they wanted to be ready. And so We had expectations. Again, first year, not knowing a lot of the guys, not working with any of the guys ever in the past. You have some expectations, but I don't know that 32 wins, a conference title, all the stuff that we were able to accomplish on and off the field as a group, because we did a lot of really good things in the classroom too, and in the community. I think expectations were definitely exceeded.
Well, and one of the things that you guys did, which I think is very impressive, is we were at some games, and you guys, between games, you guys went and watched one of our younger teams play.
That was fun.
I heard from several kids that just were so excited
Yeah.
that you guys took the time to do that. And that only helps, right? Because that
Absolutely.
helps build our lower and our younger kids to want to play baseball even more,
Yep.
because they see the involvement there. So congratulations on that as well. So tough loss last night. So let's
Yep.
talk about that. It's not what we wanted, but it's what we got, right?
Yep.
Tell us about just the whole atmosphere of the game, and what was your conversation after the game to your players?
Yeah, man, going into it, it was one of those things where you're like, this is why we work every single day. This is why you work in the summer. This is why you work in the off season. This is why you get up every day and lift at 6 a.m. For opportunities like last night. Because as much fun as it was, like, not everybody gets to experience that,
Yeah.
and it doesn't come around every year. It's hard, and it takes a lot of work. And we went into the game expecting to win. We knew we were playing a good team, another local team that a lot of our guys know. The coaching staff knows each other. They're very well coached. They've got a lot of talent over there as well. And, faced a guy on the mound who had all of his stuff working last night, and he was really good. He mixed it up. He kept us off balance. We hit into a couple things. We flew out to right and got thrown out at home one time. Got thrown out on the bases once, but our guys never quit. And we finished in the 7th inning. The game ended with us having a chance to tie it or win it. And that's all you can ask for every time you go out and play. And so, we didn't talk about the game after, because it doesn't really matter at that point. We just told these guys how proud we were of everything that they've done, how grateful we were to every single guy for the amount of time that they put in, for buying in and to a new coaching staff and what we want to accomplish. And just letting them know that, we love them, we care about them. We're trying to create something, and I think we've done that. We're trying to create something that lasts forever here, and that's a family type of mentality, a family atmosphere where, these guys graduate and Cooper goes to St. Louis and plays, or Jarrett, Fort Scott, or some of these guys to State Fair and wherever they're going, or Blake and Jackson, who aren't going to play college ball but moving on in their careers. Like, I want them to come back and be proud of this program and their experience, and come back and support next year's team. And 15 years down the road, their team. And because ultimately, how well we do next year, the guys that set the tone this year and this year's senior group, they have a huge role on how we play next year, because of the foundation that they set this year. And so we just told them that we love them and how proud we are of them, and that we'll be there for them forever, no matter what. And you could tell they were upset, they were sad, they were hurt, let down, all of the emotions above. But one day, whenever they're ready, each guy they'll wake up one day and they'll be proud of what they did.
And I think that's a testament, and I think you've accomplished that. Like you said, I think you and your staff have created an atmosphere that, as far away as they ever get from this field, they'll always remember playing on this field. Right, and when they come back, or if they're driving down the road and they hear a song that was played during the game,
Absolutely.
or they'll remember that, and that's all you can ask for, are those good memories. So I want to talk about something real quick. So if you look at the last few games that we played, the last several games that we played, we started winning by small margins.
Yep.
And I don't know that we really took stock into that, but I wanted to kind of get your take on, why do you think that was, and why do you think, was it because the season was longer, other teams were getting better? What was that you feel, was kind of the cause of only winning by 1 run, or having to have walk-offs in order to
Sure.
be successful.
Yeah, I think it's a couple things, honestly. I think there's a lot of good teams out there. I think there's a lot of really good teams in our conference. 2 of those 1-run wins were to Republic, who's an incredibly coached team, and they have a lot of really good players. And so those were 2 of the wins. You get closer to the end of the year, and I think people start to understand we're getting close to postseason. And if you watch most postseason sports, baseball in particular, there's a lot closer games, and you have to pitch really well, and you have to play good defense, and there's usually those games, especially early in tournaments when everybody's ace is throwing or their top 2 guys are throwing, you're going to face better pitching, and sometimes guys go to the bullpen quicker than they normally would, and so you don't have bigger innings. If somebody leaves a starter out there longer in a regular season because they got to get through the week with all their pitching and pitch counts, and so honestly, I didn't really look into that. I don't think there is any one thing you can think about. Again, every time we go out, everybody wants to bring their A game against us, and so there's some of that too. But I think it was more so of us just finding any way to win, and that's what we talked about late in the year. It doesn't matter how, it doesn't matter what. We just need to try to find a way to win by 1.
Yeah.
And for the most part, we did that.
Well, I think it's safe to say that you could probably, the shirts that we have next year, go ahead and put a target on the back of them.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because we will have that, and that's where you want to be.
Absolutely.
Right? That's where you want to be. You don't want to be the guy chasing. You want to be the guy that's being chased.
Yep.
And again, just a testament to the program. And you're right, finding ways to win.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, a W is W. It doesn't matter if it's by 1 run or 15 runs.
Yep.
So this summer, as head coach of Nixa High School, what are your plans? What are your leagues? What are you going to do this summer, or what are you guys doing this summer? I know we got a lot of the younger kids playing. What are your plans for leagues and things this summer?
Yeah, we've got, we're going to meet as a coaching staff this weekend, sometime early next week. We've got a 16U group right now. That was our freshman group that had an incredible season with Coach Kelly. We've got a full team there. We've got a few guys on our older team that are still looking to play, and so we're talking about putting together one more team possibly, maybe adding some other kids because we don't have a full roster, so maybe adding some kids from some other local teams, which they've done in the past too. But for our plans, because most of our guys travel around with other teams and play out of state a lot. And so what we want to do is we want to still get everybody together because of the rules. We're allowed to do that throughout the summer, I think 20 times. And so we're planning on doing something either on Mondays or Tuesdays, having everybody together, the whole squad, and either practicing or playing a doubleheader with another local team on a Monday or Tuesday night, because most people travel Wednesday through Sunday with their travel ball teams, and so we'd like to get together on a Tuesday probably and get some good work in together, continue to do what we do, and move forward with our programs and those kinds of things. And it allows us to be able to see our guys still, throughout the summer and continue to work with them and improve on things we need to get better at. And so there's no specific league that we're going to play in. It's going to be more like pickup games almost, where we're getting together with Republic or an Ozark, Willard, something like that, once a week and playing everybody together. And then most of the other guys are going to go play in their leagues all summer and just kind of follow them and see how they do. So I'm mostly excited about spending a lot of time with my 2 boys.
Yeah.
And with Janessa, and doing nothing some days.
Yeah.
And playing golf and fishing and just being able to, just enjoy nothing and relax.
Well, and people don't understand unless you've been in that position as a coach's wife
Yeah,
what
absolutely.
it entails. Not only is it time consuming, but all of the banter that you hear in the background, whether you
Yep.
win 32 games or
Yeah.
if you win 3 games, right? There's going to be banter. There's always
sure.
going to be an armchair pitcher or whatever, an armchair coach. It's
Yep.
and so hats off to the coaches'
Oh,
wives.
she's incredible. And I think for anybody who's interested, she's probably going to be looking for a babysitter for game days next year. 'Cause she's, as much as she loves our boys, she loves watching us too.
You mean
And-
Cletus and Roscoe?
Oh my gosh, those two boys, they are a handful during the games. And she's like, half the time, she's like, I can't even enjoy the game because I'm making sure they're not running in the parking lot. So we may be looking for somebody to babysit during the games next year. But she is so supportive and she is so invested. We talk every night after the games, and she's like, I can't believe he didn't hit that ball, or I can't believe we walked that guy. And it's fun to watch her do that and be invested. But she is so competitive too.
And in her own right too.
Yes, absolutely.
Played basketball in
Yes.
college and was an All-American and
Yes.
just a phenomenal athlete.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. And so we'll get some good time to talk about the season. But then after that, it's just going to be let's be a family. Let's relax. And we put a lot of time and energy into this for our first year, and which we loved every second of it. But we're going to enjoy going to the river and doing nothing.
Well, make sure you tell Cletus and Roscoe I said hello. And if you need a guy to play music on Monday, Tuesday nights,
Yes.
I know where there's a guy
Okay.
that you may be able to call, and
That's fantastic.
he'll come and help out. Because we love the game of baseball. And I'll be honest with you, not to look past the successful year that we had, but now we have to look forward, right?
Yep.
And we're so excited about what next year is going to bring, and some of those younger kids that we don't get to see play
Yeah.
because we're here, with the older kids.
sure.
But we hear about them,
Yep.
and we're super excited to see those kids and how they're going to come in and play a role in, a winning
Yeah.
season like we're going to have again next year.
Yeah.
'Cause I think we're going to be good next year, and certainly not taking away from the seniors. I'm super happy to those kids that they're going on to the next level. They're going to fulfill a dream that they had past this.
For sure.
And that was one thing that I really liked was they didn't let that get in the way.
Yep.
They didn't
Yep.
let those future plans get in the way of what was happening here today. So.
Absolutely.
I'm great year. Congratulations. Thank you
you.
so much. Have a great time this summer, and looking forward to next year. So,
Yeah, I just wanted to, say thanks to you guys for doing this, promoting our program. Thanks to everyone who's watched online. Thanks to our families and the entire Nixa community. I truly believe we wouldn't have had the year at all that we did without everybody involved. And we don't take that lightly.
Yeah.
And that's why we're almost ready to put in more bleachers
Oh,
so we can
absolutely.
get more people here.
Yeah, you can't see it, but there's concrete out here. The bleachers should be here hopefully this
Next
week.
week, yep.
And even more fans for next year.
Absolutely.
Bigger atmosphere next year, louder. You and I are going to talk about some things that we would like to do during the games to make the games more fun,
Yep.
to make it more interactive. And that just draws more people in.
Absolutely.
So we're super excited. We'll have some new things next year. We'll do this pace of broadcast next year, but for now, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for all the comments. We've been approached by people outside of this saying that they really enjoy this broadcast and
That's
kind of
great.
learning more about what you guys are doing on the inside that we don't get to see. So we're super happy and super excited about what there is to come. But until then, folks, we're going to sign off for the rest of this school year, and we will see you in the spring for next year for baseball 2022, baseball 2023. Have a great summer.
Mr. Callahan, what's your favorite day?
Friday?
Favorite time?
Morning. Why?
Well, Air Services offers online bookings so you can schedule around your favorite time.
That's a great option.
Now you can choose what works best with your schedule. No waiting, no operators, no canned music.
Please make it stop.
And with online bookings, you don't have to talk with anyone.
I'm liking this more and more.
Call Air Services today.